Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. This episode, I'm interviewing Azzy Thomas from North Wales, boxer, MMA, owns a gym. We talk about growing up in North Wales, in Moxra, how he started off as a footballer, went on to boxing, went on to kickboxing, not kickboxing, fighting MMA. And we also talk about the troubles he's had and the mistakes he's made. We also talk about what he's learned through taking ayahuasca. We talk about a lot of things, so please watch, subscribe, comment, and like. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. All right, thanks for coming on, Aaron. I appreciate you coming on the podcast with me.
What's up, man, Shane?
Okay, we're going to talk about a lot of things, aren't we, pal? But first of all, we'll talk about the upcoming fight you've got, with Mike Egan.
Yeah.
Okay, I did speak to Mike. He's going to come on the podcast, and he did say to me, "Wind you up." He's going to knock the fuck out of you. That's what he said. He said, but to let you know, he's going to knock the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Is that a good fight? Is that, or is it a different way you were telling me, weren't you?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight because obviously fighting Mike is well-known Thai boxer, isn't he? Yeah. A bit of a local legend, like your brother Shane, Joey, the boxer. Two best fighters come out of town. I'm going to be fighting both of them. I fought Joey. Yeah. 15 odd years ago
because you beat him.
It's a good fight, wasn't it? Joey's a legend.
That was 20 odd years ago, was.
Yeah, and look what happened after me and Joey had came to our team, joined our team, good training partners,
and all that. Yeah, and you're not training with Mike Egan. You said you sparred with him.
I sparred with Mike a few rounds. Yeah,
and he's at a high level. Yeah,
he's at a good level. Yeah,
good level, but
definitely.
Of course, you're going to be confident you're going to beat him because he's confident he's going to beat you.
I'm going into his show, his ref, mainly his rules. Right. His judges, and I'm going in there, aren't I? So obviously I'm confident to go there and do that. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be looking to go to decision anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go there, try and finish a fight. I always do.
And 3 rounds boxing, 3 rounds kickboxing. Yeah. And he's swerving the MMA. He
won't go. He's avoiding it like the plague. Right, he won't go there. And
which is understandable.
Why, he knows. Right. I think boxing is a sport, and so is kickboxing kind of thing. It's not really a proper fight to me. A proper fight is MMA. It's got everything included, isn't it?
So the problem, you're foreseeing problems in being kicking you because that's not your.
I'm not really a kickboxer. I'm never had a kickboxing fight in my life. Do you know what I mean? So but I'm happy to do kickboxing rounds.
Well. And that's
I'd be happy to do 10 rounds of Muay Thai and do 1 round of MMA, but that's never going to happen. No. So we have to do a fight where it kind of suits him.
Yeah,
to, make the fight happen.
And being able to kick 8, that's not enough to win the fight. You think that? Yeah, but he must believe that. You've got the advantage on the MMA. He's not going to give you that a shot. He must know he's got no chance of that. You must believe that the kicks aren't going to affect you then.
If it was an MMA fight, it wouldn't go past 2 minutes. It'd be an unfair fight, and no one really wants to see a mismatch like that. It would be a mismatch. That's a fact. That's not me being big-headed. It's a fact. Anyone knows fighting, and understands fighting. It's a mismatch.
He'd be on the same wavelength himself, as you said. That's what fighters think. He's going to think.
You've got to be confident,
but you can't be that confident if he doesn't want to do the MMA.
He's not very confident in a proper fight. And I understand that. I get that. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, it's about putting on spectacle for the fans in North Wales.
Yeah.
You probably say me and Mike are probably the most well-represented
everyone knows
fighters,
both, don't you?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you are mates, aren't you? You're not going to no hatred. No animosity.
I mean, we were meant to maybe fought many, many years ago. We did have a conversation about that. Right. I know how that conversation went, and it didn't end up happening, but it's happening now. Maybe because I'm a bit past my best, my prime, and he might feel confident now. He's a lot younger than me, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, but he's got to be out 36, 37, around about that.
He isn't young either, but
he's not young, but I was in my prime 10 years ago, and that fight there wouldn't really made sense then, but probably now it makes it a bit more even and a bit more interesting, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it'll be a good fight, like I say. It's going to be a wild night. A lot of people are going to be coming to it, and I think a lot of people are interested, obviously, because of me and Mike in our area, quite well-known fighters, aren't we? So it makes a lot of sense to make this fight happen. And plus, what I believe is, in our local scene, there's some good fighters out there, but they don't really fight anyone with meaning. They fight people they know are going to beat, so they don't really test themselves. Yeah.
I think it'll be a closer fight than you and Gordon Watts. I think that's going to be a bit closer.
I don't think Gordon landed a punch. But
that's what I'm saying. So at least you're going to at least have a fight.
Gordon's not a fighter. Gordon's a bit of a showman and a bit of a local village idiot, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Gordon. I really do. But he was here that day. I saw when I was fighting Seth's boy.
Yeah,
he was with him 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, bouncing across the road. He didn't get involved, did he? But he was there. But I like Gordon, and then he's been banged up again, hasn't he? But yeah. I'd expect at least Mike to put up a fight and land a few punches, because I was surprised that Gordon didn't. But then when he looked at the skill set, there was a hell of a difference, wasn't there?
There's definitely skill sets. There's definitely like levels to fighting, and I think
but you held back a bit with him, didn't you? Because
I could have given him a right side, and let's be honest, I could have given him
a few times to teach him a few lessons.
He needed a lesson because at the end of the day, he stole one of my puppies for one. That's the reason why this fight happened. He stole one of my puppies, and he think he'd get away with that. And then he also gave me a load of stick in the middle of town, in front of loads of people. And then he goes on the internet. After I said, get to the gym, he goes in there and he calls me out on the cobbles. And I'm like, someone sent me, I'm like, listen, because I've learned this in my lifetime, right? The more you allow people to take an inch, the more going to take. So if I allowed that to happen, that's going to set Tim, Jack and Harry to start mouthing it, because they think, so you have to put people in the place sometimes, and that's what I did. Well, in the right way. Could have done him on the street that day.
Yeah, he'd say when you bottled it. If you hadn't stood up tomorrow, you bottled it, and he'd say one, and everyone thinks you're going to bottle it then.
Exactly, and I think with people like that, you have to put them in their place.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really, people say, oh, you're bullying him. Not really, because they didn't know the story, the background. But he robbed me one of my dogs for one. And obviously he gave me a lot of stick in the middle of town, so that's why
since then, he went on and beat Hatchet, didn't he? He can't. He is capable of hurting someone. It's just that you were in your skill set, but you're not going. He wasn't going with a bum, was you?
I like Ben Hatchet. He's a nice lad, but Ben Hatchet and Gordon Watts, I'd probably beat him at the same time. And that's how it is.
Well, they were on the same level as each other. That's why they were good fights.
They were good fights. They made sense. I think 1-1.
And I did enjoy them, but there was not much skill set there.
No, definitely not. No skill set there. They don't know no experience in boxing. They're just the boys on the street or whatever they think, and they think can have a scrap now. And to be fair, that internet and YouTube has given a lot of people a platform to believe they can fight, and most of them can't fight. Let's be real. They're not real fighters. They're just getting people off. And some of the shows I see are embarrassing. I feel it's a bit of disrespect to some real fighters out there. Like, these people got these titles like I don't know, they just made up, aren't they, titles? The mate made them up, or call yourself the... I made one up for me pal a while back because we got pissed off at Dave Bellis, I give him a shout out here, and we called him the Commonwealth champion. It was just a little show in London Junction, do you know what I mean? But we just do it to take the piss, like, do you know what I mean? Because they're not Commonwealth champions, are they? They're not even champions of their postcode or their street.
Still got a belt though in there.
They've still got a belt in their head,
Because Joey, he got to the Welsh finals a couple of times, and I always wished he'd got a belt. Because he got the Welsh, he got the vest, and he had all that, and he never won the belt. He
was unlucky though. Like you say, that's a good level. Your brother's a really good fighter. Like I think he basically wanted to fight me, but I was up and coming. Joe was kind of at the end of his career, wasn't he? And it kind of made sense at that time. We both had a scrap. Like,
hell of a fight it was.
It's a really good fight, and a great atmosphere. Wasn't it? In a dingy old little commercial. What was it? No, not commercial. What was it? Like a Community club, no, everyone was smoking back then. I couldn't see Joey across the ring.
I was smoking on the fifth round. I deviled my brother, and I've never seen him dropped, and I've never seen him lose. I'd seen him on points, but I'd never seen him stopped, and his legs went out, and then the left jumped in and all that. It's a long time ago in my memory, but I remember feeling sick.
I know.
Please, Joey, get through the end of the round. At least get to the end for him.
Of course. But
he didn't. It said you didn't knock him out, did you? No. But you stopped, and the ref did him a favour, didn't he? But you're only young then.
I must have been 21 then. 21. I'd only been doing boxing 18 months then. I'd only just got into it really. Do you know what I mean?
He'd been boxing all his life. I was it really bothered me when you beat him. But as I said, didn't bother Joey. He went and trained you after.
Exactly. Yeah, joined our team and we had loads of rounds of sparring, some great rounds of sparring. Learned loads off Joey because he's a very well experienced guy, isn't he? He's been around the block.
He come back, didn't he, after a long time, and he boxed Seth in
That's right. Yeah.
A couple of times he boxed Seth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Draw and Seth won one, and then it was a draw, and they had a made up belt for that.
Yeah, we made up another one there for it.
But I said he got a draw.
It'd be nice to got that belt. They say he's done well, Joe, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been an inspiration to me. He's kept all the mistakes I've made and all that, and he's always done the right thing, and he made the odd mistake and got banged up for it.
We're all human beings, aren't we?
Yeah, no, but as in the things I got away with, as right. Didn't give a fuck. And he's not a criminal. He's never broke the law. He's always been on the right side mentality. And then when he did have a fight in the pub, and it was self-defense, he ended up getting banged up for it. Yeah. And you think, fucking amount of things you walk away from. Yeah. And Joey's so honest and he's such a nice guy and all that. And then he gets a 6-month sentence for fucking a fight in a pub. I think every cunt gets probation, and
it's wild, isn't it? It's wild.
And the reason being, he was a boxer.
Yeah, definitely.
And his fists are weapons.
They make it as an example.
I think that's what they did with him. And we all went out to him, and it didn't bother him getting banged. He was a young lad then, and he won't mind me saying he was a young lad, wasn't he? But he was so unlucky that way. And then I said, we walk away like, you've been inside, haven't you?
I've been inside, I've done my time.
I know, I read online, that was in 2011.
Is it 2011, was it?
Yeah, I read the other day, just to have a quick read up on you, which I know about you anyway.
I think it was actually 2019. Yeah, it was 2019 it was.
When you got banged up?
Yeah. Because 2006 when the Commonwealth Games.
2000 and what? Did you? When was you in court? 2009?
2009, sorry.
2009, but you got sentenced in 2011?
No, I got out in 2000. I got out 3 years after. So 6 years sentence, got 3 years. So I came out and then I started, I'll try to go back to pro boxing. But unfortunately, at that time, I was 4-0. And they won't give me a pro license because I was still on license. So I had to wait. So then I was like...
And what was his full sentence as?
6 years.
We won't dwell on it, but...
we can talk about it.
How long did you get?
6 years.
6 years, and of course you did half and all that.
Did half, yeah.
And then that was for armed robbery.
Armed robbery, yes.
Okay. And that wasn't your game, was it?
No, because I got caught.
No, of course I got caught. But that wasn't where your life was leading at the time, was it?
Look, I ran with a lot of people back then. You know me from way back, don't you? So I grew up in Mocktra.
The Mocktra Massive. I had things to do with the Mocktra Massive.
You did, yeah. With a few banters, and then landed in the lads, Colin Bay lads, and it was always a bit of rivalry, wasn't there?
Well, I had trouble with Kane, didn't I?
Kane,
I had Kane, didn't I? Not going against that lad whatsoever, but fuck me, he was a handful, that cunt.
He was.
He wouldn't shut his mouth. You know what I mean? Even after I had 2 fights with him,
he's like a lingering fart, isn't he?
God.
Just won't disappear.
Fuck, he really was game as fuck. But
he was game. He was game. But so like you say, so I was pro boxing. I was also living another lifestyle as well. Doing.
Up to no good.
No good. It was a bit of the judge. When the judge sent me, before he passed sentence, he goes, "Mr. Thomas might be a lovable rogue, but you have to take the evidence what you've seen before." So I think he led the jury to say, "Look, he's guilty."
But the judge
send him down. No, I don't think he liked me. Just I think the jury. I
made
the jury laugh a few times.
You then. You can see what the jury's seen.
You see. I made the jury laugh a few times in the trial. Do you know what I mean? So I think he was trying to let them know. Listen, the evidence being put before you, but the evidence, mate, it was.
Okay,
it was one of them. But anyway, it is what it is.
You don't talk about that.
It's what it is. Being there, done that.
It's
one of them things that
I learn from that.
Listen, it's something I'm embarrassed about, but I can talk about it because I can, maybe help someone else think if they're going down that route. It's not the route to go down, really. You know what I mean?
3 years, dude. I'm not being an asshole, but 3 years to you in prison, it ain't going to be like most people doing 3 years. You can look after yourself. You lived that life. You obviously knew when you got there, a lot of people.
I knew, as soon as I walked in, there was someone I knew straight away. So it was like, oh God, here we go.
But you don't want to be in that fucking place, do you?
No, it's prison is. It's just an inconvenience. Now, people say, when people commit a crime, throw away the book, lock the way. I mean, if you look at Norway and their prison system, they're basically in like a hostel kind of thing. It's nice rooms. They got pretty much everything they need, education, and returning customers that they have is the lowest out of the whole of Europe, and they've got probably the best conditions prison. You lock people up in a room, they're going to go a bit crazy, they're going to go a bit mad. So I think
they must be getting therapy at the same time about why they caused it there. But imagine doing that here, trying to get all these fucking nutters that are in fucking Atmex in prison to talk about the feelings and all that. I
get what you're saying there, but
I don't get me wrong. I think they need rehabilitating as and all that.
I think rehabilitation. To be honest, you have to want to change yourself. If you don't want to change, you're not going to change.
And I believe one of them children changes a lot of people.
Helps 100%. So that's why I felt. See, when I was in jail, I didn't like looking myself in the mirror because I was seeing my little daughter come across. I tell you, and she was a baby, she was 3 months when I got sent down. So every week I got to see her. Do you know what I mean? And I'd go back to my room. and I think you're a fucking knobhead. Yeah, absolute knobhead. Do you know what I mean? That's why I fucking. That's why I thought. And then another thing happened. We had Sky Sports in jail. People like, I've got Sky Sports. But yeah, we had Sky Sports and. One night the boxing came on. I wasn't really focused on the boxing. I was like, didn't really want to watch it, but my pad mates, I want to watch the boxing tonight. So we watched it anyway. And it came on and introduced Denton Vassell fighting for the Commonwealth title. And I thought, fucking hell, I boxed him. I beat him 3 years ago.
He's in prison and you're...
And mate goes, just looked at me, goes, you're an absolute knobhead, aren't you?
Well, that's, what you don't want to think about yourself, but you're thinking, I beat this guy. I'm in here sat in a fucking cell. And this
I just went down the wrong road, and I did some wrong choice. But there's the story behind it. People don't know. People just see the actions of what a criminal does. They don't know the backstory about what's been going on behind here and what's led to this moment, the madness, we'll call it.
Okay. We did talk on the way past, and you did say on this, and my response was, John, who does this podcast with me, he speaks a lot about trauma as a child.
Yeah.
Before even rebirthing, he believes that even if you're in the womb and the mother has trauma, she's a smackhead or she's whatever, she's getting battered by a partner, that will affect you as a baby when you're born, and you've got to get to that trauma. And that's why, as you get older, you do the reasons you are, and maybe a bit more aggressive, a bit more quick off the mark than a lot of people, or you make wrong decisions and you know the right decision, but you still make the wrong decision because you don't give a fuck. And that is from your childhood, as you say. But I said, you still pulled that fucking trigger yourself, didn't you? You still...
just talking about before with me.
I didn't have to punch those people in the face, Aaron. I enjoyed it when I did it. I'd rather punch them than they punch me. And what stopped me was when I had Declan, and I thought, he's going to be like his dad so much if I let him see all this. And I didn't want him to become what I'd become.
Yeah.
So I changed it for him. But I never once did I have a fight and then regret it after. I was always happy about that fight because I'd won, obviously, or I'd done all right, or I'd been hurt. At least I never got hurt badly. Where I never regretted that fight. But now I look back, I think you're getting a 9 out of 10 of them. You didn't have to punch.
No, definitely. And going back to your point there, about my trip to I had a ayahuasca journey, and that was one of the most enlightening moments of my life because, like, when I used to do stupid things, I used to, like, when I was growing up as a kid, I had a lot of fights that, going down to land, did know in the minibus. You might mention that one after, allegedly. And I know some mad stories that I used to get up to was down to just mad thinking, but I never knew, I do certain things and I'd be a bit, after my conscience would play on me and I'd think, why have I done that? I don't understand why I've done that. I feel bad for someone I punched or a fight that we'd had or caused some trouble somewhere. And I didn't realise what I was doing, but... So I went to this ayahuasca. I said to this woman, I said, I want to know why I've made all these bad decisions in my life, like right rational thinking. And she must have kind of knew, but she said to me, so what I want you to do, Aaron, when you come to this retreat, I want you to focus on yourself as a child. Remember yourself as you was as a child. And I was thinking, okay. I guess I'll think about that. But I didn't really think about it till I went on this journey, this ayahuasca trip. And the first night it didn't really work because I was with my pal, Colin, and I don't know if you've ever done like magic mushrooms or anything like that.
When I was younger,
these kind of things. Don't judge, because it's not too bad. I think these things have definitely helped me since. So, you have a laugh and you joke and that. And the first night, me and Colin were just laughing our heads off all night. I couldn't, because we see people like kind of like freaking out a little bit, like trying to take the clothes off. And I think, what the hell? I said to Colin,
how many was in there?
About 26. And I was like, Colin, what the fuck are we taking here? You swear on it?
Yeah, you can swear, yeah.
I said, what the fuck? I said, and with the ayahuasca, you have to kind of allow it to work. You have to surrender, basically, If you don't, it won't kind of work. So it was kind of like, we're kind of laughing under our blankets, laughing our heads off. And then a couple of shames come, listen, boys, you have to, I know he's enjoying yourself, but please, I need to respect of the people here because people are going through a lot of trauma. And I didn't know. So the next day, and then we hear people's stories around the circle and stuff, and people telling, so this one guy who I was like, no, what we're taking here, he's trying to, it's like he'd lost his daughter, he'd lost his wife, and he was left on his own, do you know what I mean, with nothing, and he had a cerebral palsy child as well. So you can imagine the trauma that's coming out of it. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm calling him, like looking at, oh man, now we feel really bad. We didn't know what was going on, but we're just like panicking, thinking, what the hell, what have we just drank? Because we don't want that to happen to us. So the next day I said to the boys, listen, I want to get this serious now. I'm here to do it. I'm here for a journey, and I want to understand about things, like, and this is what I wanted to do. So they left me be. So this second night I took this ayahuasca, this drink, and I started going in, and it's kind of like making me feel comfortable a little bit. So it was making me laugh, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm accepting this. The next minute, pitch black. I was in a room of darkness, and I was sat with the devil, basically. Although people was like, oh, what do he look like? I don't know what he looked like, but I knew it was the presence of a devil, basically.
No happy feelings.
No, so basically I was like just darkness, black darkness. I was like, my dad, what's going on here? Like, what's going on? So basically, it said, your soul's mine now. I own you now, basically. I was like, wow, what? So I'm in hell. It's like,
was you scared?
A little bit. It's like a bit like panicky a little bit, but then I just accepted it. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, I can't move, nothing else I can do here. But then he's like, your kids are also mine as well. I own your kids. And then that made me the fighter in me, like, nah, I don't care who you are. I'm gonna, and he's like, and he just started laughing. He was, well, who do you think you are? And in my head, I'm on this is a crazy story, right? But I'm on a horse with a sword. And I'm thinking, well, that's out who I am. And this big presence came up and just smashed me into loads of different pieces. And just basically my ego was like, Dad, I'm nobody, am I? Right. I'm nothing. And that's what it had me thinking. So then it was like, I was trying to get out of this room now, and it's like everywhere I was turning, it was like memories were coming back of bad things that I've done. I was like, I didn't want to see him. Stuff I even forgot about when I was like 15, 16 that I'd done. Things I'm not very proud of, do you know what I mean? But it was showing me these things. And I just had to, basically what this journey helped me do was accept that I was the one responsible, because I would say it wasn't my fault because such happened before, and this is why I did it, but it doesn't matter. Like I was saying before, I still pulled the trigger. Right. You know what I mean? It was still me doing these actions. Yeah. So I was like, I don't get what's going on here. So it took me for about an hour, and it felt like people were being sick on the side. So people like trauma coming out, but I didn't know I was in a room with other people. I thought people were spitting on me, being sick on me because of being such a bad person. Yeah. So it was breaking down my ego.
You got your eyes closed?
Yeah, I basically felt like I was in an alleyway, just like people just like, a back alleyway, and people just spitting on me and like, and all that. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, okay, accept that I did pull the trigger, then it let me go.
Did it?
Let me all that room. It took me back to when I was like a child. And so where these quick rational decisions come from, I believe childhood trauma is a real thing, because I know it is, because I've seen it. It showed me this thing. So it took me back when I was a 3-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid. And I remember this day to my, like before I went into this journey, it was my mum and dad arguing. So they were kind of splitting up at this point. So I'm seeing my mum and dad fighting. They're having a fight in the room, and I'm looking up at my dad. My dad's like, my mum's kind of like going to my dad. My dad's packing his stuff. He's phoning into the car, and I'm like, what the hell's happened to these? My mum, my dad, like, I love these two people, don't I? Obviously, you do, don't you? So I'm thinking, well, my dad's going. I need to go. Something was pulling me towards my dad. So when my dad was going back in the other room, I jumped in my dad's car and hid under in the back seat with loads of clothes over me. And then he drove off, and then I peered out the back. And all right, Dad, what were you doing here? I just want to live with you, don't I? So then at that moment, that time, that trip stopped. Then it took me straight back to my mum. And it was me crying at my mum's, like, why? There's my why. So I've thought, without even thinking, I've made a rash decision from that moment. And later on in life, it's affected me, because now I'm doing, there's my why, isn't it? I want to know why I did these stupid things. Because I wasn't thinking. So now it's helped me slow down things and think about things before I do. Yeah. So that's how it's helped me now. I don't do that, stuff like arguing with like kids or my dad. I can just chill out now and say, do you know what? Brilliant. Let me assess this now, and I'll come back to this later on. If there's assessment, we can do it. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant. So you've used that knowledge, what you learned.
So that's what helped me. So like you talk about childhood trauma, I do believe that's a real thing, because why did it take me through those stages and then bring me back to there? And then when I come out of it, I was crying like a little baby. Do you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, crying like a baby. Was like, oh my God, my mates were here by the side of me, was like sniffling bubbles. Like I know my why now. I understand why. Okay. So I didn't feel as guilty, because like sometimes when you remember things that you've done, you're not too proud about what you've done. Do you know what I mean? But then,
I had the same kind of a thing, didn't I? As in your dad's in Mickey Thomas, so we know. I mean, a lot of people know who your dad is, Mickey. He had his traumas, he's had his life himself, hasn't he? But with my dad, Mickey, he was a fucking lunatic, wasn't he? My old man, Scott's Jimmy. And I've witnessed loads of things growing up and all that. And I've always known that the reason I do things is because I've seen him doing it and not giving a fuck and all that. But I never was asked about stopping it. Never was asked about putting it right, because I enjoyed it and I wasn't bothered. And I look back now, I think it's obvious that it's linked to your childhood, isn't it? Now and all that. And John's always wanted me to do the therapy, isn't he?
Yeah.
And to get to the bottom of it, I always say no to him. So I tried that DMT a while back.
So the DMT is a bit of a fast release. It's like 15 minutes.
And that's made in by a chemist, isn't it? DMT, but it's what's in your brain. And
it's in your brain, yeah.
So I wanted the same as you. I wanted to get some answers, even though I'm wise enough to put it all together, my upbringing and all. Not saying my dad was a cunt to me, because he certainly wasn't. He never raised his hand to me. He never hit me on Joey. He was always like, but he'd let us fight. Yeah. He'd encourage it. He'd coppers kicking down the door. Always think he did. He was never asked how it affected me or Joey, or he never asked if it concerned. Your boys, tough. You're tough.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
So I did that. I thought, right, fuck it then. I'll do this DMT. And the same happened to me, as
you sat with the devil.
I've seen devil, I've seen killings, mass murder, blood, gorge. Just luckily enough, it was only a 10-minute trip, and I closed my eyes and I went with it. But I got no answers. I just got memories of what I did.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I've killed people, but there's been a lot of blood and gore in my life, and I had flashbacks about things quickly, people's faces.
Yeah.
Things I'd done.
Yeah.
And I wanted answers, not reminded what I did. I come out of the trip after us and I was like, fuck. I know all this. I've just seen what I've done in my life, and I wanted answers, not fucking reminding me I was a cunt when I was younger and the things I've done. Can't put it all right, can we? Obviously, but
you can't put it right.
You can be nice now.
You can't change the past. What you can do is make the present good and move forward that way, can't you?
And I have put it to the test, and I've walked away when I wouldn't have used to, and I still got pissed off with myself for walking away, even though I did the right thing. You know what I mean? And so it's always going to be there, but you learn, even though you're going against what you think you want to do, you have to say, it's wrong to be smacking people in the face when you have an argument, unless you feel like they're going to punch you. But if you're arguing and someone's calling you a dickhead and then you think, fuck it, boom.
Yeah.
That's what I used to be like.
Yeah.
And I now know you can't be doing that. But if someone threatens me or in my face, of course we will be fighting now, even now. But I've learned, you don't have to be violent all the time.
No,
you don't have to go that way.
It's not the solution, is it? Sometimes the best reaction is no reaction.
No reaction. Yeah,
unless you're under threat. Obviously.
Under threat. And of course, it's different when you're active.
Yeah,
you have to be there. And there's no turning a blind eye if people who own your money and they're not paid you for a month, and then someone else owes you money and they find out he's not paid you, they're not going to pay you.
Vicious circle, isn't it? It's a vicious circle.
Yeah, it wasn't like you had the option when you were active, but the times where people weren't doing anything wrong, they were just in the pub or knocked into in the street, and you end up fighting and all that. And I look back and I think, fucking hell, Shane, you didn't have to be like that. But there's nothing you can do now. And don't do it again. Don't do that again. Yeah, that's what I've learned. So I didn't get no answers off the DMT.
I think what you need is sometimes it doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you need sometimes. Yeah. So that's the motto they do use. Yeah. But like I say, DMT, I've done that. But like you say, ayahuasca is more of a healing journey. It's very spiritual. It's very people might not believe in spirits or whatever, but for me, 100%, it's something that's helped me improve in many aspects. Still have aspects. I'm still a human being. Still make mistakes in life. Still do wrong things here and there, like everyone else. We can pretend we're all angels, but realistically, we do bad things. We might raise our voice to our kids. We shouldn't be doing shit like that, should we really? Sometimes they wind us up.
I just get
my little 4-year-old twins are nightmares, but I love them dearly.
Yeah. So I say since we don't know chances back and all that, you raise your voice, he shouts back now. You get nowhere doing
my
that.
little girl Talia, she's like a teenager now, so and
how's she doing?
Yeah, doing really good now. Yeah, so she's.
Is that a worry for you at that age now?
No, because you know what, she got bullied as well. So, and this is what I was saying about the bullying earlier. So she got beat up by a few girls and a few lads, and they poured Lucozade on. They did a video and went all viral on the internet and all that. So then I had to go and sort it out, didn't I, a little bit? So the parents would have promised me it wouldn't happen again, but the girls were still trying to pick on my little girl, Talia. She didn't realise how bad the world is. She was innocent, 11-year-old child, and that was the first moment of you can realise how things are.
Nasty kids are as well.
Yeah, so I trained up for 6 months doing MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and then I said, no, when they kick, try and cause trouble again, just go for the biggest one, or the one most people are scared of, and deal with it and have a fight. I know that's something, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that, but it would have continued to happen. So Talia had the fight, sorted the girl out, and then there was never ever trouble ever again. That's what I was saying earlier before. I believe that's my personal view. If someone's going to threaten you or bully you or hit you, you're going to have to nip that in the bud early, because if you don't, then it's going to continue happening, because there is wankers in this planet, isn't there, really? There are bullies and they will.
I'm trying to get Frankie to do jiu-jitsu. She's 9 years. She's into ballet, she's into dancing, she's a girl's girl. But I ain't getting on the bed, I wrestle with him. I'm trying to get to jiu-jitsu for that reason.
Perfect,
I don't want her to 13 or 14 and get a first boyfriend and all that, and she's getting bullied by a boyfriend. I want her to be able to tell her to not take any shit off no one. But she's tiny shit, bless her. But that doesn't matter with jiu-jitsu, does it? And
it doesn't, definitely. It's an equaliser. Jiu-jitsu's built for self-defense, for smaller people to be able to defend themselves against the larger opponent, larger people. You know what I mean? Like attacking them or whatever. I think that's where it basically came from. a long time ago. But yeah, it's a great sport as well. It's a positive sport as well. Like, I go to these tournaments now. You see little kids, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds competing, and their families. Like, last tournament went to was the British Open no gi, and it was about 1,000 people there. You know, from all walks of life. Everyone's got respect for each other. It's a fantastic sport as well. So, but it has benefits as well. You know, if my daughter's attacked, at least I'd feel a bit more confident now. You know, if she went on a weekend or went away, I wouldn't have to worry as much. Still worry. You're always going to worry about your daughter, aren't you? But that kind of thing's helpful.
Still competing?
Yeah. Won the British Open, no gi British Open about 6 weeks ago in advanced masters. So yeah, jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So I won the gold there, beat 2 very good opponents. I've got a tournament in March the 9th that I'm competing on in Manchester. Me and John, who I train with, we're going to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in London, which is
People's Gym you've got, isn't it? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, the People's Gym, One Bomb MMA. I used to run Hammer and used to run Team Mayhem back in the day. That's where we first started in Colne Bay, but the Maddox, and yeah, we just evolved from there really. But I still enjoy the sport. I still enjoy competing. Like I say, I'm fighting Mike. This is going to be my last. I wasn't going to fight again anyway, but when Mike did a podcast and he kind of mentioned my name, I was like, well, I can't really
bottle it.
You're
not going to bottle it, but
I'm not bottling it. I wouldn't bottle it. He's kind of called me out probably 10 years past the time he should have called me out, but it is. Well, I still think I can fight. I still think I do a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So I think it'll make an interesting fight. And like I say, I want to set the example up for the future generation coming through. Listen, have a fight someone that's just you're not maybe meant to be, or someone that people don't know who you're meant to be. Rather than fighting people every weekend you know you're going to beat, and then you call yourself a champion, which really just at the bollocks, really, aren't it? So you see a lot of that. So this hopefully will set in trend. Good fighters fighting each other. That's where it'd be throwing the line.
Fair play to you.
You go at the door and see who's the real best is. Best
fair play to both of you, but fair play at your age to say, right, I'll have another fucking go. You know what I mean?
That's it. You know, 26 now.
26. Yeah, and Johnny, I'll meet Johnny. I haven't mentioned how we know each other, Azzy. We know each other because my Uncle Jones is a footballer and his best mate is your dad, Mickey Thomas. They played for Wrexham together, didn't they? Yeah. So that's how we know each other. And as I said, I never did any business with yours, but I crossed swords with a lot of people that you were involved with, haven't I? So we've always known each other and all that. And same with the person you're saying with Johnny Gizzy. The same with Johnny. I've known Johnny all my life, Azzy, and we've crossed swords so many times. Never did any business together. Nope. Fucking touch fucking wood, like. You know, he's behaved himself and all that now. But when I knew him, he was a well-known character, wasn't he? You know, and he's calmed down as well. I've seen that everyone in North Wales.
I think jiu-jitsu's helped him massively calm down. To be honest,
and is he good?
He's very good. Yeah, you know, he's only been doing it 18 months. He just won the British Open as well, no gi beginners. So he just won that. So then he's going up to the next step, which is intermediate, probably May, April after this Grand Prix. Then we'll take it from there. But like I say, he joined the gym at 51.
Fucking
you know, and he'll tell you himself, helped him change massively, you know. Mentally, yeah.
Because he was a handy lad,
he went over to Ukraine, you know. Yeah, he went over to Ukraine when the war started. He went over there, like, he wanted to do his bit and stuff.
Did he?
Yeah, he went over there. Yeah, crazy, yeah. And he just, you know, a story he told me, he's seen people, blood, and dead people and stuff. He thought, is this worth really dying for? But he wanted to do something.
He wanted,
wanted to do something. Now he's doing jiu-jitsu.
Because he's lived a life, hasn't he? But he was always a handy lad. He was always known as a hard lad. But that jiu-jitsu is a different game.
Yeah, it's an equaliser, definitely. I mean,
well, when I come up the gym,
it's a different game, isn't it? It's a sport. It's a sport. You know what I mean? So you do have to learn a skill set, really. You know, there's rules to it and things like that. So you do have to be.
Well, when I come in the gym to see you both and all that, and I was like to him, well, he picked me up above his head, didn't he? Swung me on like a fucking ragdoll. Yeah. But when I come out the gym, I rang Eddie Leott. I've just seen Johnny and Azzy in the gym. I said, I slapped fuck out of Johnny in there. No, you didn't. No, I said, I just gone in there. He tapped out. I tapped him out. And then he's gone there. He rang Johnny straight away, saying, Shane just beat you up. But he picked me up. Johnny picked me up like a fucking ragdoll strong. Like,
he's very, very strong guy. Strong guy. Very, very.
Because my age, isn't he?
Yeah. But he's, you know, he's competing against 30-year-olds and beating 30-year-olds, you know, as well. Yeah. He's been doing really good.
How many lads do you have in your gym?
Fighters, I'd probably say. Hard to say, really. We get people come and go. But if I'm going to, how many decent fighters we've got right now, who I could say would be committed, you probably got about, at the moment, 6, 7. Right. 6, 7. We used to have 20 odd. But now we've got about 6 or 7.
And what fighting stage that can go?
Probably, ready to fight, ready to compete, you know, on a decent level. I'd feel confident putting them in, you know, because they put the work in.
Right. Fair play to them.
Yeah. It's hard sport.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of your hours. How many days do you open the gym?
A lot to it, you know. I spend a lot of hours in the gym. It's something I enjoy doing, so I don't really feel like it's work as such. You know what I mean? But I've been doing it for like 10 years now since I come out of jail. You know, since I turned my life around and started focusing on positive things. It's been a helpful tool for myself. Do you know what I mean? To keep myself on the straight and narrow. Do you know what I mean? So stop me going drifting.
You did quite well, only getting one sentence, to be honest with you, hasn't it? You know, you didn't want that, but
if we put the calculations in, I'm probably 126 years ahead.
Brilliant.
Allegedly.
Great. Yeah, great.
Do you know,
I had to check myself, didn't I?
And that's it. But like you say, like people will judge you for doing things that we've done probably, but they have no understanding of what actually is going on in people's lives. No. And, you know, and I always look, I've had people come to my gym and people say, "Why are you letting him train? He's been to jail." That's like, and like, and
obviously like, trying to better
I've
himself.
got to give people a chance, because if you don't, then be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
Right. And help people do the same if you can. You can't help everyone. I don't try and save everyone, because you can't. If you try and save everyone, you'd end up drowning. Do you know what I mean? Some people don't want help. Some people don't want to change. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So we can't help them, so you let them be. But there's people that genuinely want to change. I had a message last night here now, and it's quite a sad one, actually. You know, a video message of someone, you know, and it basically tears down, like, you know, help me as I need to help myself change. They've been drinking, going through a lot of stuff with their ex-missus and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, come to the gym, I'll try and help you out, and I will do my best.
Yeah.
But what I did notice is when you do help a lot of people, you take a lot of negative energies, and you have to get that energy off you, like, you know, because hearing stories, it's draining, do you know what I mean? And I'm not a psychologist or nothing, do you know what I mean? I'm just a personal trainer and a lad from Mocktra, do you know what I mean?
You have too much empathy, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of people that contacted me about the cancer, I don't want to I try not to bring up too often, but the amount of people that have contacted me tell me that their daughters are dying, or the sisters are dying, or family members, loved ones are struggling, and they ask them a story, and I try and help them, and I spend hours thinking about them after, thinking about what happened to me, and which I've tried to put in the past, and the empathy. And I've learned now over the last year, you cannot take on everyone's problems. You cannot be responsible for people who are going through struggle in life, because you're going to get ill. I'm going to get sick 100%. Worrying about if this drug worked for this person, if I hope this person's not suffering too much and they're not in too much pain. And I was asking these people, I was asking them how you coping, and one or two people I could cope with, but now I was getting 10, 15 people that are constantly...
It's a lot on it.
And I feel for everyone, and it was getting too much, and I had to take a break, and I had to think, right, take a break from it all, Shane, and because you've got a lot going on yourself, and you can't be spending your emotions on other people, because you're going to... And I had to stop that, and you know, and I knew when I did the podcast about the cancer thing that I was going to get a lot of emails and a lot of questions, and I even prepared myself for it, and it still got too much.
Yeah, it does. It's hard work, but it is. You take a lot of other people's problems on as well. You can't save everyone, can you? You know what I mean? You can help and help the best
struggle
you can.
saving myself.
Same, bro. Yeah,
I'm trying to do that.
And so, life's hard for us all, right? And like I say, cancer now it's rife. I think my dad's gone through it. My uncle's going through it right now. Yeah. I'll probably get it. You know, I think we're all going to go through some stage. Everyone's going to suffer at some point, aren't they, with it?
Definitely speaks, you know, everyone knows someone who's had it. If they've not had it, then the mother had it, or the daughter's had it, or someone's had it. And especially since the so-called vaccinations or whatever were, it's ripe. I don't know whether it's coincidence or not. I'm not a doctor, but the amount of people
you have to put that tinfoil hat down, mate, because people are going to try and cancel if you say anything up towards anything like that.
I understand that, but
they
also
cancelled me in 2000.
Yeah. I know, I
got tapped loads for not wanting to take it. Now, you should be advising people to your health. I'm into health, but I'm fine. I've got my immune system. I'm confident.
I didn't take it, and I made sure my wife didn't take it, and the kids haven't had it. But Joey had it. Yeah. Joey's quite happy to have it and all that, and a lot of people have it. Now, I'm worried, which it's not proven that it's caused problems, and you know, but there's a lot of evidence to say there's a good chance that a lot of people are getting problems from it now. And I'm worried for, like, my mum, as I said, my mum's ill, and that's all come on since the vaccinations, and you couldn't mention it to her ever.
Well, my mum's convinced she's had a problem because of it. Convinced, 100%. She's got massive problems, and she's convinced it's because of it. Yeah. And I did try and advise her, you know what I mean? And now she wished she never, but she only did go on holiday. Yeah. I think most people did that. or they felt pressured in from them. It's a shame, really. You know, that's a moment in time. That 2000, that moment in time was that changed me massively. Like you know, because I'm not like I'm a bit of a people person, but I seen a lot of fakeness in people. I didn't realize. Listen, I say it now. I trust an honest rogue. I trust an honest rogue over most people these days, because at least with a rogue, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? An honest rogue. But like you say, like people attack me for crazy, like a bit on my business page. People I didn't even know, writing reviews about my opinion. And they want to cancel me.
And it's come out now, and it's come out that they.
Listen,
what they did was terrible. And
if I go back in time though, do you know what? What I've learned is you can never win an argument.
No,
you can never win an argument because if you win, you lose anyway.
They were taking everyone off the YouTube because I mentioned it 18 minutes ago, but now you've got Dr. Campbell who talks about the vaccinations constantly, saying all the harm it caused.
Yeah,
he's also talking about. I couldn't mention Memberdozol. I can't get contact with that. Drug I took out. I wouldn't be able to talk about that 4 years ago. But now you've got Dr. Campbell. He's mentioned Memberdozol. You've got Dr. Pavla, and he said he'll come on the podcast, Dr. Pavla. I think it's Pavla. And he talks about it. So now, in the last, say, 12 to 18 months, it's swung back the other way for some reason now, where people are all talking about it. But the people that have had the vaccinations don't want to talk about it. Now, the ones who, they just clam up because they don't want to accept that
it was
coerced or whatever.
It was, listen, they spent billions on propaganda, didn't they? So you can understand why people went along with it. You can totally understand it. I think God gave me these eyes to see through bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think I seen through the bullshit. Luckily for me, do you know what I mean? But unfortunately for my mum, even my dad and people like I do worry about, of course, because you do see certain things and it's going on and you're thinking,
is it a time bomb?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think, but they didn't have any long-term data, did they? And that's why I've had everything beforehand, but that one thing I want to say its name on it, but just in case, because you still get
demonetize or whatever they do.
I'm just glad.
Yeah, and I am. And the reason I was against it was because they told me without chemo I'd be dead, and I didn't listen to him, and I didn't die.
You're still here
so
now.
I got no trust in them. Because so when that was come out, I quickly thought, don't believe a word they're telling you.
I'm into my fitness, right, and I'm into my health, and I used to do live shows talking about nutrition and stuff. I used to deep delve into like evidence and sources and stuff, and they used to demonize fat. So fat was the enemy, not sugar. Sugar's the real enemy, not fat. Healthy fats like avocado and salmon, wild salmon stuff, really good for your body, right? So your body loves nutrients like that. But they had sources and evidence to say fat was the problem. That's why they went to skinny lattes, semi-skim milk. The best milk for you is raw milk or full fat milk, not the semi-skim stuff, all this. And so basically from then I had probably not so much faith in what I'm told. I like to see things for myself and look at things for myself and work things out for myself. Yeah. Not saying I'm a scientist, I'm never going to claim that, but I think I've got common knowledge, common sense.
Yeah, and don't take everything for word value.
No, I look at evidence through a whole scale of things. I look right outside over here and I look inside there. I'll take everything into consideration and make my own decision. Yeah. And I think that's how we should think. I think that's how real science, isn't it? You should question things, right?
You mentioned milk there. Yeah. I go through at least 2 litres of full fat milk every day.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about fasting and that. And I don't eat. Yeah. But I always tell people, it must be the milk that the goodness is coming out of that milk. The amount of milk I drink, and I have one meal every couple of days, and I'm never tired, and I'm never drained, and I'm on the milk. Yeah. So it's got to be full fat milk. I don't like that watery stuff, But I wake up in the morning and I've drank 2 litres overnight and all that. Yeah. So but fasting. That's another thing.
Amazing fasting. Amazing benefits. I'm actually starting my fast on the weekend. Just told on the way down, right? And it's amazing results I'm seeing my friends get with that, and yourself. I didn't know you're doing fasting, but a lot of evidence stacking up there again. But then no doubt there'll be someone else down the road to say, "Oh, it's terrible for you." But I just look what I see. I'm going to give it a go, like I say on the weekend. But I did also the vegan diet and propaganda. I don't normally fall for propaganda. I won't say I fell for it such, but do you remember Game Changers? And it was the vegan on Netflix.
No.
And all these athletes had on, but it's about basically vegan, how healthy it is for you, just eating like vegetables and getting rid of your meat out of your diet. I did it for the BKB fight in London. That's how I got this scar here in that fight. I mean, I felt really like sharp and stuff, but I was the weakest I've ever been. Right. I literally couldn't punch through a wet paper bag. I felt fit, but
no strength.
No strength at all. No strength. I was hitting the lad clean with bare knuckle, and normally
damage.
It would do a bit of damage, even big daft gloves on, but there was nothing in the punches, and it's probably the worst thing I ever did. I would never go vegan again, ever.
No, well, Joe Rogan does the meat.
The carnivore. I've done that. Perfect.
And I didn't even have to do that because I don't eat veg. But it's I eat shit when I eat, but it's always been meat, and that's all. You know what I mean? And I said, I seem healthy enough. Like, so I said, I don't think I could have vegan diet.
They tell us, don't they, not to eat too much eggs. I eat probably 6 eggs every morning before I start, unless yesterday I missed, and I ended up eating a load of shite, right? But that's why I say, for me personally, morning breakfast is key because it helps me stay away from the shit food later on in the day because it's calorie dense food, you know. So meat and eggs, they tell us stay away from meat. Meat's really good for us. Yeah. If you look at what's in meat and all the nutrients in the meat, it's amazing compared to, like, say, this fake meat. How many ingredients in a steak?
Right, it's shite, is it?
Well, no, in a steak.
In a proper steak, yeah, but
none. It's a steak.
Yeah, steak. But if you got McDonald's, it's full of shite, isn't it?
I don't know about the McDonald's, but what I'm saying is these Beyond Meat, the next one, they're trying to coach us into
veggie burgers and all that shit.
It's full of how many ingredients in that? And you're telling me that's healthy in the actual steak because these scientists or these people who pay to say this thing, I just think...
I don't think I could ever eat
common sense comes
meat.
In here.
I don't think I could I don't think I'd ever want to try false meat and all that.
I'm in the best shape of my life now at this stage, and I've changed my diet massively, just mainly eating eggs, meat, and avocados and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel fantastic right now.
Strong, you feel strong?
I feel really strong. I feel really good.
Yeah, great. I see. You're looking all right, pal. As I said, I wouldn't put you in your mid-40s, like. So
what, 36? I am.
Oh, you fuck off. And we'll go back to we started off with Mike. We'll go back from you grew up in Mockcha, which is not far from Clandino, is it?
Not far, about a few miles.
And didn't you play football when you first started off? Did you?
I played football as a kid. Yeah. Listen, I was a really good kid in school, getting all high. I was in the top classes, and then from about 12, I just diverted away and started hanging around with a group of people who were smoking and drinking on the weekends, and I kind of went down that route in the end. Yeah. So then my football career kind of went off track a bit. I wasn't really focused on it.
And it was a few years before you took up the boxing, then, was it?
No. So what happened with the boxing? Wild one, this one. I was playing for Rill in the semi-pro league in the Welsh Premier League.
So you're high level at the football.
Okay level. Do you know what I mean? The Welsh Premier League's not really high level, but it's a good level, isn't it? Good standard football. So I was there, and it was pre-season training with my friend Carl, and his uncle owned a gym down the road. He says, "Come do pre-season in the boxing club down the road." About 20 at the time. I said, "Yeah, come on, we'll give it a go." So went down there the first day in the gym, just hitting the bags and the pads, and the coach comes up, goes, "Have you boxed before?" I said, "No, never have boxed before. I've had a few fights and stuff, but I never really boxed, you know." He said, "Oh, you're pretty good." And I said, "Yeah, I'm enjoying it, actually." He goes, "Well, come back next week then." So I carried on. And then ended up sparring with Carl. I remember him busting my nose at me, and I thought, you know what, this is something I'm really into. Like, and the coach said to me, "Goes, I'll get you a fight in a few months if you carry on training." So then I said, "Yeah, I'll think about that." Anyway, we got a big local derby, Bangor versus Rill, big game on a Friday night. And my coach the week before says, "Look, I've got your fight here." It's against I think Rob Allen at the time. He was Mike Allen, boxing the Commonwealth Games, his brother, who's quite well experienced. I hadn't had no fights really, I think 1 or 2. He said, "Do you want to fight him?" I said, "Oh, I've got the Bangor game. It's a big game. Like I'm up front, you know, and they're going to need me." He goes, "Well, decide what you want to do." Then I said, "Fuck it." I phoned him up and saying, "Fucking hell, I can't play football." So I took the boxing fight instead. Right. So I went down, had the fight, and it was in the paper the weekend after. And the manager phoned me. He goes, "Hey, you was there last week, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah, it's really bad, boss." He's like, "Well, how come in the paper here fighting boxing?" I was like, fuck's sake. So then they end up getting rid of me then. So I ended up going to, I think, Colne Bay or something. But then I was addicted to fighting. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take... And my sister was going out with a Scouts lad at the time, and his mate was fighting the Commonwealth Games in Manchester. I think it was Paul Smith Brothers. Right. So I was like, "Yeah, it's my mate there fighting." So I tell you what, I'm going to be boxing the Commonwealth Games for 4 years. And he went, "Shut up, you're not bad. As if you are. I I took that real to offence. Like, so I've always been a scrapper. I thought, fucking right I am. I just become addicted to it. And within 4 years, I was in the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne. Do you know what I mean? Because I put me all into it. And that's just the mindset. Again, if you put your mind into something.
But that you took offence by him.
I took offence, but I trained every morning.
I give you that kick.
I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'd go running 3 days a week, 5-6 miles. I remember lads on the weekend, people I'd do a bit of banter with, a few fights with, and they thought, oh, here's Rocky here coming now, taking the piss. I'd be like, yeah, you're still a pisshead, they weren't, and carry on running, we'll get on my way. And then, yeah, like say 4 years later, I was in the Commonwealth Games.
And how old was you then?
I was 26 or 25. Yeah, so I've been boxing 4 or 5 years and got in the Commonwealth Games.
How far did you get in the Commonwealth?
I didn't really do too well, to be honest. Again,
good experience.
Fantastic experience. I should have done a lot better, but the weight cutting was terrible. Funny story, but so our Welsh team, we went to Thailand, warm weather training, so Thailand and Melbourne. So a week before the Commonwealth Games, we went to Thailand training there. So they bought the scales, so I jumped on the scales, fucking hell, well underweight here. So, and all the lads like, fucking hell, yeah, we're all the same, aren't we? So at the time, when we get cheap food out there, so we're eating now, and I'll be getting like chocolate sundaes, eating all this, and jumping on the scales and say, yeah, I'm still £4 under. Fucking hell. So we went over the way to the Commonwealth Games, went into Australia, got there, went to see the nutritionist for the Welsh team, jumped on the scales, I was a stone overweight, I had 3 days to lose the weight.
Oh, fuck.
No day before weighing.
No.
So, and then, so I almost have a piss then, so I had a piss and you're dehydrated. Not a chance you can make 69 kilos. My coach's like, well, you can't go up in weight, fuck, I'll have to lose the weight, won't I? So I was just like basically training for the 3 days before that tournament started just to lose weight. On the morning of that fight, at 5 in the morning, I was running around the village, all the athletes stay, just running around, lost the weight, got to the venue, I was still 0.2 over. Then I was skipping with a sweatsuit and there was nothing coming off me. Got the weight off eventually, weighed in at 10 a.m. and then I was fighting at 1 p.m.
No.
I was winning the fight all the way through the round, win the first round, win the second round, win the third round. So if it had been scoring how they score it now, if you win the round, you win the round. But then it was points. So I was like, I think it was like 17-13 up at the last round. I remember getting on the sat down on the stool and I couldn't feel my legs. I was thinking, I've got another round. I can't even stand up here. He was like, you all right? I was like, I don't think so. He goes, come on, you're winning the round, get it, but come on, let's go. I literally had nothing left, mate, and yeah, I lost it.
He got the points back.
He bought the points back. I think he won by 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, so it was the round system, then you would have won the round, banked those rounds.
Won 3 and lost 1.
So you would have won, but it's different. It's
different
over how many points, scoring system, which is quite hard to score as well. Very headshots. You got to know what you're doing when you're scoring that boxing.
It has, but they were counting body shots. To be fair, and I was a body puncher anyway, so it suited me that day. Just unfortunately, the weight cut.
If you don't know a little bit about boxing, you won't be able to score those amateur boxers because you got to know what the ref was seeing.
Yeah.
Even though you think that was a decent shot, it's been blocked slightly, so it's not counted.
Yeah.
And look, and the average person will see a punch, but you got to know, and because sometimes you think he's just done a 4-shot combo and he got 1 point, but only one's connected.
Well, back then, you had 5 judges and 3 judges had to press the button within a second.
That's right, in the same.
From all counts. So if only 2 and it was a good shot, unfortunately.
That's what Joey's system was like.
Had it me, I remember boxing the ABA finals and I won the fight 100%. I remember watching it back, and I remember watching it back on TV later on that night. It was on the BBC, and I don't like that company, but I shouldn't really mention them. But it was on there after, and I remember landing punches and seeing the score at the bottom. Didn't score it, but like you say, all 3 judges have to press it at the same time.
And they bonded the refs in the way of that punch, and only 2.
I remember coming back for the last round, I thought, I'm up here about 7 points. Coach goes, as you 3 down. I was like, fuck, how am I 3 down? I don't understand how I'm 3 down, because I remember like winning the fight. Some fights I did win where I shouldn't have won maybe as well. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it works against. But yeah, that moment, that day, I remember winning that fight, but I didn't get it. But I still won the AEB title, and I still won the box offs from the Commonwealth Games. So that was the main thing. I got silver in the amateurs and the British.
And you got the Welsh
Fest and stuff. And boxed for Wales numerous times. So
how many amateur fights did you have all in all?
How many what, bro?
How many amateur fights did you have for the Welsh squad and all that?
I think I boxed for Wales probably about at least 15 times and that. All over.
What experience that is.
Amazing, mate, amazing. Yeah, some fighters, some quality fighters. That's why I like the ABAs. It's like when people say the Welsh champions at home now, this whatever it is, semi-pro boxing, whatever, not really champions, you know what I mean? They're not genuine champions. Like your brother got to the final.
Twice, bless him.
But that's a proper...
And one, I thought he'd been robbed.
There you go.
I thought he got robbed, but he's my brother and I'm biased, but I thought he should have won that.
So when people ask me, oh, who would win out of a fight with certain characters round by, I just laugh my head off. I think, oh God, they're clueless people, really.
Yeah.
That's not really boxing, not champions. But then you sound like a hater, don't you?
Yeah,
like, oh, what are you hating for?
But
like,
it's just
I don't
honest
really hate.
opinion.
I'm just trying to, like, truth sounds like hate sometimes. They're not really champions. You know what I mean? If they were real champions, go to ABAs, go down that route.
Yeah.
And that's the real route. That's where I'm from.
Proper
the
commitment, that, isn't it? Commitment. You got
to be committed. I was out running 5 a.m. I see these lads on the session, and then fighting the next day and winning titles and claiming the champions and not. I say that's the truth.
Yeah, so it's one of the hardest sports you can do, the fighting, the boxing.
Combat sport.
Any combat sport.
All combat sports are really tough, mate. You have to be really dedicated. It depends where you want to fight, what level you want to fight at. Anyone can do the sport, but at a certain level. If you want to get to a high level, you have to put your life and soul into it. And no reward, really. There's no reward in it. That's why, I put my life and soul, I sacrifice so much of my time, my life, learning a sport just to get to those Commonwealth Games. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just don't think some of these champions round by ours now are claiming the champions. They're not, and it's like.
No, well, I was that person that never had it in me. As I had 7 fights. So Joey was reminding me the other day. He said, "You were good when you were winning, Shane. As soon as you got hurt, you fucking didn't give it. You didn't want to do it, did you?" And I went, "You're right. I won the first 6 fights. Loved the sport. And then I lost. And then I got. He hit me in the body shot, and it was in the Welsh Championships.
Can take your soul away. That body.
It was in the Welsh Championships. I was down south.
Yeah.
Fuck, I couldn't get up. Oh God, my bollocks were hurting. But everything was hurting, and then I never went back because
I know how bad that can be because I got body shotted actually in a football match once. I used to play football as a kid. I didn't see it coming anyway, but I think we were playing Pastatin or someone, and the kid just come behind me, hit me in the ribs, boom, straight down. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dying. I was like, I'd never been winning in my life. I was like, what that? Like, I woke up from that, like, got off from that shot, I was thinking, what? But then when I started boxing, I remembered that, and that's why I was a body strike. I remember hurting people to the body, and I stopped a lot of lads from body shots because the amateurs, the gloves are like this, like pillows, aren't they? So to hit them to the ribs was the best one. Headshots weren't the best, but body shots was great.
Well, see, and that's I lost, and that was enough for me. I didn't like losing, I didn't like getting hurt. And Joey lost and went back and lost, and then he was winning, and then he got to the stage where he was good. But the minute I lost, I was winning straight away. I had 6 on the bike, like I loved it. I'm going to be the champion and all that. One loss, one hurt, and I thought, fuck that, I'm getting in there, like getting hit and all that.
At least you're honest, like
that's what. But Joey carried it on, didn't he? Become a hell of a good Joey, and I always wished I'd kept that. I'd learned how to learn the basics of boxing, didn't I? And that got me through as an adult and being a fighter. But I always wish I'd kept up a good sport, kept fit, kept that discipline. But it was so hard.
I had a great life through doing amateur boxing. I respect the amateur scene a lot, the ABs and stuff. The pro boxer's more like a business. But I remember going into I won my first 4 fights. I didn't really fight anyone of meaning. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're building, I sold my first pro fight. I sold 410 tickets. And they were like, fucking hell, never had this. Not even our champions sell this, world champions and stuff. But I had all the Stoke fans there. It was a massive show. And then the second fight, I remember selling 200 odd tickets, but it was on a Friday. So Saturday, the first show was on a Saturday where the Stoke lads were at home. So look, I kind of grew up with the naughty 40. My dad played for Stoke, didn't he? And I used to, that's probably why a lot of my troubles come from, seeing a lot of fights through growing up with them. But yeah, they all came to support me anyway. But then the weekend after, it was a Friday night and away from home, so not many came. And they're like, oh, you only sold 200 odd tickets or 120 tickets. Can't remember what it was, but it was a lot less than I did the first time. And I thought, man, they don't care about me. They just want how many tickets
and you're worrying about fighting as well, and then you've got to worry about keeping the tickets going. This is how
corrupt boxing is, and this is where I lost the love for the sport, and it kind of like changed my mindset on things, and maybe that's why I kind of went in a different route, because I was ill one night for one fight. I said to my coach, I'm not going to be able to fight. I can't even get out of bed. He said, but I'd done a few more tickets than the second. They're like, you've got to fight. Without you, there's no show. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, I can't do it. And they said, what we'll do, and this is pro boxing here, we'll get the lads just to do rounds with you, we'll get you the win. I said, I can't do that.
Oh, God.
I'm not doing that. So that was a moment I lost respect for the pro scene as much as I mean, because it's a business. It's a business.
And how often do you think that's going on then?
Yes, happens all the time.
Does it?
Come on, you see it all the time.
Okay.
I not all the time, but you see it a lot of time. You see, people are paid to lose.
Right.
I'm a boxer.
And you're a straight up fighter, and that pissed you off. It pissed me off.
It's just like when I was fighting, it was
they
like,
give you the fight, like.
They would have given me the fight. I didn't take the fight.
I know he didn't take it, but just the fact that I'd be thinking, well, every time is he phoning a fight? Is he phoning a fight?
You got to realise this is a business. If I'm a promoter and I've got a lad selling tickets, I want him on my show, I want him winning. They're going to find you someone that they know you're going to beat. Or they might have to word with this person, say, listen, just give him my mate, give him the rounds, I'll give you a few hundred extra quid. I know this happens. I know people that run shows, I know this happens. Right. Do you know what I mean? It does happen. It's one of them things, you know.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't know if it happens at the highest level. I don't know. It's not box the highest level, but I know it does happen at a certain level. 100%. Yeah. I suppose. But then I watch boxing, pro boxing, thinking, is he being paid to just give this lad the rounds here? Because he's not really.
Yeah, and that promotion's probably got a lot of money involved. He doesn't want to lose.
I'm not talking about journeymen, because journeymen go and do a job. Journeymen don't go and try and win. They're there to fight and feed their family next week. They don't want to get knocked out. So if they throw a few more extra shots, more openings there's going to be for them to get knocked out. So you can see him just tucking up. Yeah. I'm not talking about journeyman. I'm talking about. I've just seen a few fights that I think that looks suspicious to me. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist.
You'll see if it's a fucking proper punch or not, can't you?
It happens on the low levels. Happens in the semi-pro circuit as well. I've ran shows. I've seen it. I've been around it. I know what happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? One of them, innit? Yeah. But
do you want me to phone Mike Egan a few quid?
You don't need to send him. Hey, mate, you don't need to send Mike anybody, mate. He's good. He's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. I can't wait for this fight, you know, like I say, going back to it before, can't wait. It's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a big fight for you, you know, and it's about time a big fight has happened in our local area. You know, we've had good shows. Me and Mike ran shows before, Throwdown, good venues, and we did have good fights. I look at the shows recently, I don't really see too many fights I'd go and want to pay £40 for, you know what I mean? So go and watch, say, bloody one of the local lads fight a lad from Manchester who's coming down to get beat. I'm not paying hard earning the money. Now times are hard. I want to see good real fights. So me and Mike is a real fight, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it is, isn't it? It is a fight.
Of course, yeah. You're both in it to win.
I think obviously I'm going to win. He's going to think he's going to win.
Yeah. I said, you're both there to win. No one's going to be throwing that fight, are they? But
no, not. Hey, listen, there's too much on the line for us to throw that fight. I don't want him beating me. Come on. And he won't want the same. Unfortunately, it's going to happen, though, isn't it?
Can't no lad beating up the Mocha massive
doesn't happen,
lad.
Mate, doesn't happen.
No. I think he's from Junction, isn't he, Mike?
I don't know. Is he Junction lad?
Well, the Egan's were quite a big family in the 90s when I was when I was active.
Yeah.
They had a bit of a name. But I don't know how he fits in with the Egans. I don't know.
I think it's distant cousins.
Distant cousins. It was Danny Egan. His uncle, was it? Maybe?
Danny, I remember Danny.
Danny, yeah. They were Conway lot, I think, Junction lot. We were getting cross swords with them, like. But I do like Mike Egan because he had the cancer, Mike.
He's sound, Mike.
Yeah, and
really nice lad.
He beat the cancer.
I don't like when it's going to be hard to like try to be motivate myself to really beat him up because he's quite sound, lads. You know what I mean?
Well, get the motivation from everyone from fucking North Wales is going to be watching it, and you got
me personally. Sometimes I have to I have to turn on alter ego almost. You know what I mean? To like try and train to hurt someone, but maybe it's because I've got kids and that now. Maybe
and ayahuasca's chilled out, mate.
I think that happened to Wilder actually. Didn't he? Had ayahuasca.
Yeah, he had the same problem. He lost that killer instinct.
Lost the killer instinct. Yeah. So maybe I've lost that.
Well, no. No, but you need to bring that. We'll talk about our story.
Which one?
Having a killer instinct. When must have been 20 odd years ago. And I'm sat in the house, I bang on the door, and you've come to the door.
Is this a legend story?
Yeah, this is a alleged story. So anyone watching it now, the police and all that, we're making a story up. So you knocked on the door. Someone who looked like you, and he knocked on the door. Shane, show that cunt you're fighting with. Shows where he lives. And I'm like, oh, it's all right. No, you said he's grassed you up, hasn't he? Let's go around and fucking sort it out. So I get off the couch, Shane. Jump in, and you got a minibus. So-called mini. You got a minibus there, so I jump in the back of the minibus, and there's about 10 lads, I'd say, all got balaclavas on, fucking baseball bats, fucking.
Who was it?
They had paraphernalia. Anyway, I said, right, I'll show you where it is. And then we're not going on to do. You aren't going to do this guy in. I jump in the minibus. I'm like, right, I'll take you around and show you where he lives. I was fighting with the family at the time, big fucking rugby team. I won't mention names. They'll know who we're talking about. These lads won't have a problem with talking about them. I'm mates with them now. So, I don't think we get any comebacks off them now. But if you're watching it, I like you now. We get on, don't we? You're hard fuckers. But so, went around there and we pulled up outside the gaff and I weren't sure which gaff it was. So I'm like, I think it's that fucking house here, lads. I said, give us a minute. My mate lives across the road. I'll jump out. Let me check up we're getting the right house before we go fucking banging on, like. So I get out of the minibus. I'm walking across the road. I hear a bang on the window. So I turned around like just to see what's going on. And it's the lad's mum, right? Yeah. Spotted me through the window, she had.
Banging on the door.
And she's banging on the window and she's shouting to me, Shane, you're a fucking wanker, you're this, right? But my son this and my son that. So I turned around, I thought, well, I know what fucking house it is now, like. That's my instinct, right? I just turned around. The lads got out the minibus, fucking jumped into the street. So I'm stood there now, no fucking balaclava on. All these lads have got balaclavas on, fucking weapons and that. And the lads in the mother, they're threatening her, but they're saying, tell your fucking son if he goes to police against fucking Shane, he's fucked. Well, they get him like, and I'm stood there in the fucking street, having like, lads, get in the minibus. She's screaming at me, this woman, like, what's happening? But she's screaming at me, you fucking wanker, coming on there. I'm like, lads, get in the fucking minibus. So we get in the minibus. I'm giving them loads. They're all laughing. Your mates are fucking laughing their heads off. And I'm like, lads, what the fuck? She knows me and all that. So we drove on. We get towards the rugby club. Right. I think it's about 10 years. And I said, pull up here. I go out here. You pick me up from Leeds you had. But I said, pull me out. I'll go out here. So we get outside the rugby club. They've all got out. Right? And I'm chatting. Fucking hell, lads. Thanks for that, like, and all that. I'm thinking the cop's going to be here in a minute. Yeah. And someone shouts, Shane, look at you. And I turned around, right, and one of the lads just took a picture. So I'm stood there with you. I'm there with no balaclava on. All these lads have got balaclavas on, machetes, baseball bats and all that. And I've just gone, don't you fucking dare put that on Facebook. That was just fucking 30 years ago. There's 25 years ago. So they got a bit of comeback off it and then it was sorted out. It never went to court or whatever. And it sorted out with that family then. Yeah. But that was, I didn't really know you then. But that was the kind of thing that went on, didn't it? You know what I mean? That was a common, that incident was quite common in my life at the time, things like that happening. So I thought, but I look back now, you didn't have to come around, or so-called come around with them, did you? Yeah. But you liked all that, didn't you?
I just thought if these guys are going to be, I think if these guys are playing this role, you can't go now play this role if you're having banter and you're having a bit of a fight. Yeah. If it's a fight, like I don't understand like gangs and things, but they used to go on a few of them. Was quite a few of them.
It's only me and Joey.
And there's only a few. Well, so I think we've got even numbers out here. This like, man, let's go and sort it out. Otherwise, there's a long way to go. And I think that's the way you should be. Like, you know, I've had a few fights in my time, and that's how I got the scar with one of those boys, actually. Yeah. And
they became
now we amicable, innit? And it's like respect, isn't it? And that's the way it should be. I think you see it in the cities though, don't we? A lot of lads get stabbed and things happen because they don't sort out like men, and that's why we have things like cowards will carry knives and slash people, kill people.
And even at the time when I was fighting them, and it went on for a couple of years fighting that family.
Yeah,
I used to tell everyone the game is fuck. Don't you think that I'm picking on these lads? Every time I go out, they're in my face.
Yeah.
Now I like a fight, I say, and they like fighting. Yeah. But don't think it's one-sided, this fucking fight with this family. Because every time I was out, they were shouting at me and we were fighting and all that. And when it got put to bed, I was happy about that. Yeah. You know, Joey got it put to bed and all that. But
that's some wild times. You know, probably another one. When I actually went to jail, I remember going to jail. I obviously went to jail, and I was gym orderly, and I used to introduce the people to like help them show them where the gym is and all stuff. That's where I kind of got my personal training qualification. Well, that's how I changed my life. Actually, going for jail helped me for the better. But I remember one lad come in once. He goes, "You're that lad." I think it was about 50. Do you remember Harrison, Paul?
Paul died. Yeah, I died.
Paul, rest his soul. You know what I mean? He used to live a fight, didn't he, as well? You know, we got a few fights. The old Coleman. I was only 15 then, and the old Coleman were like 22, 24. And then I remember him batting Paul one day. And then I don't know where it came from, but I just threw a right hook and dropped one of them straight out. And the next day they come to my house, the whole firm, about 20 of them kicked. I remember sitting on my sofa like this. I mean, mate sat there. His dad was a copper, like at the time, a traffic cop, and he's like a football player, just a genuine straight member. And the next minute, the front door goes free, boom, it's all the lads from Old Coleman. I'm sat on my sofa here. My mate's got shit himself. Right? He's just straight back. I can't blame him. Do you know what I mean? He's not one of them types. I'm thinking, oh my God, there we go. And they're all sort of they start fucking punching me. And luckily, my dad's weights are on the side there, so I kind of got to the weight, fucking hit one on the shin, hit him like he just fell over. And I chased them all out the house, but they've all fucked off, loads of them. But then the weekend after, I thought I can't have that. I'm going back to the beginning of this podcast where I say you got to nip it in the bud.
Right.
So I knew they played Sunday League football down in Quinton Hazels and Wattra. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go down on my own. I'm going to walk on that pitch. I'm going to offer every single one of them out. These are all men. I'm like 15, 16 now. So I'm offering them all out straight on the pitch in front of everyone. So all the witnesses are there. Because they said I beat them up when they were pissed the weekend before because they were on the piss, bullying. So I walked on the pitch anyway and I said, right, who wants to fight then? So there's 3 games going on at the same time. Because I remember the whole 3 pitches stopped to watch what was going on. So I ended up having a fight with, God rest his soul now, LH, who sadly died.
LH, it was LH, Joe Barr.
Ever had a hammer.
That's right, because I remember all this.
He wouldn't come out, it's like behind a bush hiding with a hammer. He's like, I'll fight you in here. It's like, yeah, with a hammer. Right. Come on, just get on have a straight. And that's what I say. I believe if men have got problems, sort of like men, or just shake hands and walk away. Yeah. But these were trying to use weapons and stuff, so I didn't go to him. But LH, fair play to him, came down. I had a good little scrap of him. Ended up biting his finger and he ended up quitting. And
you were a kid then. I remember all this going on.
Yeah, and walked back and that was the end of that. So then all the games carried on, but then that guy comes and he goes, I remember that. He goes, you were that kid, weren't you? That I was having a fight with all those old Coleman lot back in the day, and that was it. So
I got questioned about you then. I was next to Joe Barr and all them, and all that.
Joe Barr. I knocked him out as well. He's a big fucking money.
Do you
know how I knocked him out? Because he's about 6 foot, was he?
Yeah, but he's bigger than me, and he's 6'2".
On the bad stuff, didn't he? End up going on drugs and stuff. But I remember being in Colwyn Bay. It was like the plants, and it was like benches. So he walked towards me, and I was thinking, I'm not going to jump on this scouts. I thought he's a big fucker. This, so I'm getting up here. So I got him, and as he got to about there, jumped off, smacked it straight down, boom, and he was out cold. But he was quite a tough guy.
Tough guy. Well, I was getting phone calls about you all the time. Everyone asking about you and all that, and like, his game is fucked. But you got to deal with a lot of them.
Yeah, I beat every single one. I didn't lose one fight against any of them. And they were much older than me then as well. And I wasn't really a fighter. I was
you're a young kid then.
Young kid, do you know what I mean? So I think I was obviously, that's where I was meant to go, was down the fighting route. Maybe not football was my route, maybe fighting wasn't.
No, and the football route, was that because your dad was into the football and you wanted to do that because your dad
going
or was
back to being a kid and the trauma before, it's like, you know what, I was actually quite good. I remember scoring loads of goals. I remember scoring 9 goals one game, and then one of the parents goes, yeah, but you're not going to be as good as your dad, are you? And I thought, as a kid, you know what I mean? I was thinking,
what a thing to say,
though. Do you know what I mean? I still remember that day. And from that moment, football kind of got a bit sour for me. Do you know what I mean?
Horrible thing to say.
When I go to trial stuff, you're Mickey Thomas's lad, aren't you? I was thinking, do you know what? I'm my own person, me. Do you know what I mean? I love my dad. He's great. He's a legend in my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, my own hero. But like, I always wanted my own self.
Of course,
so going to football as a kid, it didn't really. I think that's why I kind of deflected. I kind of like hid my ability in football. I didn't want to perform because you're not like your dad.
And then if you did, but your dad did also say you're not as good as your dad's, because you see Conor Ban, you've got Chris Eubanks, they're never going to be as good as dad. But people who say that don't even remember the dad's boxing. I do, but you think those that are trying to live up to the dad, so even though they've done so well, they're still doing it.
So as a kid, probably that's why I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go get in the ale and go with all the boys and that. You know what I mean? I've fun that way, because then no one ever used to mention anything then until, like you say, like. Actually, my missus now said like about my criminal past and stuff, and then mum's mentioned about it. She goes, do you know what? If your dad wasn't who he was, no one really know that you've done this, because a lot of people around our town done way worse things than me, but people remember me because of who my old man is.
It's a big thing in front of people.
I was in the Daily Star. I remember being in alt course, and the mates, hey, you're on the paper. I was like, fucking, I'm not for the best reason, is it? But that's how it is, isn't it?
And a lot of people would have been fucking getting off on the fact that
it is what it is.
And they'd say, he had a silver spoon and he's ended up in prison. But
I had no silver spoon.
Hard.
You know me and my upbringing in Motra. We lived in a council house. You know what I mean? We had no silver spoon upbringing.
Your dad wasn't the normal father, was he? He's a
lovable rogue.
A lovable rogue, and it's well documented that he'd been in prison himself, wasn't it?
And that had a massive effect on me again.
How old is your mum when that happened?
I think it was about 11. So about 11. So like I say, my dad was my hero. So and then I got a lot of bullying in school, and I think that's where I learned how to fight. I remember kids like giving me shit like, your dad's in jail, and they'd laugh about it, and the older kids laugh about it, and I'd be like, And then one day I just flipped. I remember hitting some lad straight down. I guess I had a bit of a gift there of, one punch. Yeah. And I knocked some lad down. I realised I could fight then. So anytime anyone would give me shit, I just hit him. And then I kind of like enjoyed it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it.
And people think...
Wrongly so, I know it's not the best thing.
You've always got to watch when you talk about fighting that, as you said, that you're coming across like you think you're this and that.
No.
But I tell everyone, I used to fight and enjoy it. And then to give up something you enjoy and you win, and you have a street fight and you win, to give it up, if you're getting beat up every Friday night when you went out, right, you won't be fighting every Friday.
We've become a bit of a soft-ass community. So if you think about it, we've become a soft-ass We have come soft, haven't we? We've come soft. Like people look at people, you should be able to defend yourself. You should be able to protect your family and friends and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And I did tell the story on the last podcast.
If you're a bully, though, it's a different. If you're going out picking on people, like that's why I don't like the fight game. Going back to it before, lads fighting people and they're going to beat and call themselves. It fucking does me head in.
And I've got to say,
I feel like the bullying people. Do you know what I mean?
I walked away and that fight I had, even though you're right, I felt like a shit house. Right, I'm not wrong thing to say, but I'd walked away and then, right or wrong, I had an argument with Seth's lad. Right or wrong, whatever happened, I might have been a bit too aggressive or he might have been I fucking threw a fag at him and all that. And I went home and I couldn't sleep all night and it done my fucking head in. What am I, a wanker?
Yeah.
Are you? And I questioned myself all night. Are you a shit house, Shane? Now you're 50 odd and you know you got a bad leg. But why did you walk away? Is it because your arse went and then you hadn't gone?
Yeah.
And I'm telling myself, your arse didn't go, he never goes.
Just older and wiser, aren't
and so, and the next day, it was the next morning, I woke up, 8 o'clock in the morning, I seen him. I hadn't slept all night. Fucking got up in the morning, fucking doing this, and I spotted him. So I ran out the house, didn't I? Fucking 8 in the morning, give it him outside my house. And I felt so much better after, even though I know right from wrong now. And that 12 hours of torture, of me tortured myself. Are you a shithouse? Are you now going to walk away? Every time someone starts on you, Shane, are you now going to walk away and back and bottle it? And so after I did it, I felt so great. And then it kicked in later on. Then
a bit guilty then, maybe.
I talked to my missus.
Yeah.
I looked at my daughter thinking, you could go to prison for this now, Shane. You've had it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really worth it.
Luckily, he's active. Luckily, he's a fighter. So he's not going to run the police.
Yeah.
And but it could go Pete Tong this. He could have hit his head on the floor. You know what I mean?
I look at I've like fights I've had in the past and stuff, and situations like I say, going back to my wife, but like some of the stuff I've done, I lost Paul tonight. We lost Paul that night from a moment of madness.
That was New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
New Year's Eve, yeah. Not long ago. So 20 years ago, this New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've been out properly since, but it still has a bit, because I remember him, dying. I remember he got stabbed, and I was there. It was horrible. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. What is the worst thing I've seen in my life? Do you know what I mean? It is. It's I think, think back things now, situations, that could have been me, and other situations. It only takes one idiot, that's what I'm saying, who can't fight, who uses a weapon to stab someone, do you know what I mean? So they can't fight.
You still have memories of that night?
Yeah, I still get flashbacks. I remember going bloody for the job interview and it came up and I started crying, do you know what I mean? During the job interview, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because it was to help people off the streets and stuff. So, I went during that interview, we started like crying a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I'm not actually over this. But I never had any help from it, do you know what I mean? Because Mum said, she's probably going to see someone about it. But it's just...
It's a shame that I haven't got...
He's a legend, Paul, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he loved to scrap as well.
Yeah, I went to Germany with his stepdad.
Did you? Oh, Darren.
I ended up working in Germany with his stepdad. That's how I knew Paul. But it's a shame John isn't here, because he would have loved to help you talk about that trauma of it. I told you, John, he's a therapist. My friend John does his podcast, and he did ask me yesterday when we interviewed Aaron. What does anything I can't say answer? If he opens up about things in his life, and you can ask him a question, but said you don't want to get him crying on the podcast.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I said to him. I said some people want to talk about things because it must 20 years ago and it still affects you.
Yeah.
And maybe if you had some sort of therapy, you know what I mean? But
who knows? I don't know. It's just one of them. I don't think it's anything. I don't think you'd ever forget things like that.
No.
It's not correct.
I couldn't imagine losing your best mate.
It didn't come up in my ayahuasca thing journey, which I was expected to, but like you say, sometimes it doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need.
Yeah. Well, I will get around to doing it, because I do want answers. Mike Tyson talks about it, Joe Rogan talks about it a lot, and you've talked about it, and quite a few people I've talked about it have got a lot out of it. But I said, I just got the devil, and same as you and you did.
I seen the devil, but I think I had to see the devil to get to where I needed to go. Do you know what I mean? I had to go through that process. It's clever how it did it. It's like, it's real clever medicine, you know?
Yeah. Well, I am on that journey. Yeah. I have started that journey. I don't know if it's spiritual or I'm certainly not a religious person, but I've started that journey of trying to get answers now. And a lot of the answers I can do myself about my past history and all that and put it together. But I do want answers now. At 50 odd years old, I don't want to pass and go into another place and not analyse and try to put things and get answers to what I've done. You know what I mean? But fair play to you, Aaron. Thanks for coming on this. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, just make sure you come May 17th to the Mike Egan show, Mike Egan's fight and my fight. And that's it really. I just want to make sure we promote that fight because I think it's going to be great for the North Wales fight scene, to be honest. So
and Mike's coming on, isn't he? I said, yeah, I'm going to get Mike on, and I'll tell Mike that you think you're going to smash him up. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm going to beat Mike, obviously. Come on.
No, you told me you're going to. Yeah. Do you believe you're going to stop him? You're going to stop him.
I have to stop him.
You have to stop him.
I'm not going to go on this show with his judges, his ref, and think I'm going to win on points.
Okay.
I talked about corruption in the sport before and how it actually is. Come on, you see fights regularly where you think that lad's not won the fight, but they give it to the kid.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So it does happen. So I'm not going there to points. I'm going there to finish the fight. I like Mike, don't get me wrong, but I have to finish it.
You're going for the knockout.
I'll go to the body, so it won't be so bad.
It's not going to be pitter-patter. You're not pitter-pattering.
If I knocked him unconscious, I feel a bit, my conscience would hurt me there. So I'm going to hit him to the body.
Hurt your conscience if he knocks you out, though?
No.
Even more. Yeah, so you can't let that happen, can you?
Can't have that happen, no. Can't have that happen.
Especially over North Wales watching.
I can't have that happen, no, 100%. So I'm going to train hard for this fight. I'm training now. My training camp actually started yesterday. So I've got 4 months now to prepare for it. I'm going to probably maybe do a kickboxing fight. Maybe, I don't know, a boxing fight in March. Just a warm-up fight, nothing hard. Just to get the cobwebs off and then go from there then. But
Mike did tell me to tell you he's going to smash you up. I'm not just trying to wind you up. He did tell me to tell you he's going to smash you up.
Of course, he's got to say that, hasn't he? He's got to believe that as well. Right. And I'm more so, hopefully he does, because it'll make a bit of a better fight for me, to be honest.
Okay,
and don't want to finish him in one round.
Give
people, fans a few fights.
And where can they get the tickets? Will they get off Mike or you? Can
they
go
online, I think. I think we're going to do it online. Or Mike or me, do you know what I mean? So I'll be out in the next probably month or so.
Brilliant. I'll definitely be watching that one.
Yeah. Get front row seat, Shane.
Okay.
I'll put Mike's blood on you.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Mike. Azzy, I really appreciate it. I said I'll get Mike on and I'll get him to smoke the fight as well. So it'll be a big fight anyway. But I think the whole North Wales is going to be watching it anyway. 100%. And thanks for talking about your past and all that.
Is what it
appreciate it. I'm glad we're friends, but I said we never really had much to do with each other.
No, we didn't.
Because, but your name's cropped up in my life so much over my lifetime. So I'm glad we're friends, pal, and you're doing brilliant.
Thank you.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I know, and to get to your life and have your life and history and to be doing so well, always credit yourself, mate, because no one else will tell you.
No.
No fucker wants to encourage you and say how well you're doing in life, so you have to tell yourself.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So
most people like to focus on negatives. I think it's the way it is. Most people do.
And I can tell everyone, I hope you do the best, and when they do well, I'm so happy for them.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that who'd have something, I've asked people to criticise this, and a lot of people say you do well, but a lot of people I'd think would ring me up and say, "Well done, Shane, I love that," and they don't mention it because, and I think, I hear you've done something good, and the first thing I do is on the phone, fucking brilliant, well done, and all that.
You know what? It's like when I started my business, the friends that I fought with my friends became distant, and people I never even knew became close friends. And it's mad. And you ask most business people that's what happens. You know what I mean? It's what it is. It is what it is. You have to deal with it. You know, I've probably got on my less than that I can trust in my life on my hand. But if you think you got more than that, you got no one anyway.
No.
There's only a few people you can really solve.
You learn as you're getting older, don't you?
100%, you know.
I'm very lucky to have Kurt as my best mate. You know, since we left school. But I said people have come into our lives and we've let in, and they've let us down. And you think, fucking, you got in wrong and you got it. Like you let them in your circle, and you've got a close circle, and you let them in, and then they end up being a grass, or they end up doing things that you wouldn't.
Banging a bird.
But whatever, or fucking horrible things that you wouldn't dream of doing, and you think, why the fuck didn't you notice it? But you make that, you learn from that, you keep your cards close to your chest. Next time someone comes into your circle, don't you? And as you get older, you learn, you're better off having a small circle. Just keep your fucking self to yourself.
That's what I do. I keep myself, so I don't bother many people. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a loner, but I like being on my own as well. I like my own space. Do you know what I mean? I've got, like you say, 2 or 3 people I can really trust around me now, and that's the best thing you can have. Don't need too many people, because sometimes there's always a weak link in the chain somewhere.
I've learned that the last few years. Keep close people close, and the other ones you just hear with it.
I'm friendly with people. Don't get me wrong, but like you say, I only keep certain people close. I only tell certain people certain things because I can't trust everyone. Listen, I've told people certain things in the past. They'll never get out and I didn't know we got up to this. I didn't know this happened in life.
God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how the hell do you know that? I've only told 2 people, so it's probably 1 or 2. They both blame each other, and then you don't need to trust.
There could be a lot of fucking consequences of some of the things you tell people, so you learn not to,
Yeah, I mean, some things are like just private.
And then it causes trouble, and they don't realise, and they tell them if you can't.
Life's hard for everyone, isn't it? You know what I mean? So if you've got some problems, you want to talk to someone, it's so confident you think you can trust, and then next minute it gets out, it's like, fucking hell. And then people complain about people not be able to speak to people because of people they can't trust. Like, for example, speak about, say people commit suicide and things like that. Well, people don't want to talk probably because of situations like that.
Opened up and then they got phoned in the face.
And then everyone can't know one to talk to now because who can you trust with like close friends letting you down? Yeah. I'll die for my best friends. You know what I mean? I'm ready to die for. Like, I will fight tooth and nail for my best friends. I know they could phone me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got a problem, not an issue. Yeah. Let's go.
No questions asked. Boom.
Get the shovel. Yeah. And we'll sort it.
Yeah, and if you're down, if you go down, I go down with you.
That's it. That's it. And break them out of jail. Do you know what I mean? Where some people just don't give a shit.
Well, I'm like that myself. So I've kept people that I believe will do it for me close, because a lot of people, you do it and they drop out and they wouldn't fucking raise their hand to help you. And I've learned that now. So people I believe like will go into a war with me, or like will back me up against the police, or back me up against. No question. Ask me later what it's about. Back me up now. That's how I keep close now.
Your pals will turn up in a minibus full of lads for you.
Thanks. I appreciate that, mate. I tell people that story, mate. And I had mates that wouldn't have dreamt of doing that for me, who owed me money and were gangsters and that, and he didn't want to fight them. Didn't want anything to do with it. It was my fight. Joey backed me up. It was my fight, but Joey backed me up. I mean, he used to know I was over the moon, and it was a big thing in my life. I tell people.
It's nice, I think, and sometimes that is appreciated later on in life, maybe. And now we're here now.
You can come and get me anytime you want, and I'll get my back for you.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Right, thank you very much.
Legend.
I appreciate it.
Respect.